Hey guys, what's up? It's Kevin for the win, and we're back for another edition of Diablo 3. Today on the channel, we are taking a look at the Unhallowed Essence set for the Demon Hunter. A very powerful multi-shot build. Okay, so here it is. 2-piece bonus. Your generators generate 2 additional hatred and 1 discipline. 4-piece bonus. Gain 60% damage reduction and deal 60% increased damage for 8 seconds if no enemy is within 10 yards of you. 6-piece bonus. Your hatred generators, Multishot and Vengeance deal 350% increased damage for every point of discipline that you have. We're going to be using mostly a full set here, as you can see. We're also going to be using the Captain Crimson set. Captain Crimson, 2-piece bonus, 6,000 life per second, reduces cooldown of all skills by 20%, and also resource costs. 3-piece bonus, damage dealt is increased based on the percentage of cooldown reduction, and damage reduction is based on the amount of cooldown reduction you have as well. Squirt's Necklace and Wraps of Clarity you're also going to want to rock on this build. For the weapon, Dawn, reduce the cooldown of Vengeance, Dead Man's Legacy to power up Multishot. Very important that you have these things on your build, so definitely keep that in mind. We're also running Focus and Restraint. For the skills, Evasive Fire, Focus, Preparation, Invigoration. You also want to run Volt, Tumble. That way you can dodge around very easily to avoid attacks. Companion, Wolf Companion. You definitely want this to get more damage output. Vengeance, Dark Heart, Multi-Shot, Arsenal. That's the way you're going to want to rock with this. For the passives, Thrill of the Hunt, Call of the Weak, which you also want Ballistics because you want to power up the rockets, and Ambush. Now, for the Kanai's Cube, very important that you have these things, Yang's Recurve, Depth Diggers, and Ring of Royal Grandeur. You can, in theory, if you want to, rock a, instead of Yang's Recurve, you could put a Dawn in here and use Yang's Recurve as the weapon. It's a matter of your own personal preference. As for the items, you want to use the Flavor of Time, the Nemesis Bracers, as well as if you have a Broken Crown available, definitely check that out and make sure that you have those things. That will just help you get extra bonuses from your follower, which is very important. Okay, for the purposes of this showcase, we are going to do a greater of 60, greater of 65, greater of 70, greater of 75, and a greater of 80. That way I can show you how this armor operates all the way from Greater Rift, well, not Greater Rift, but Torment 13 all the way through Torment 16. Alright guys, so we're going to jump right into this. Strategy here is very simple for this particular armor. Alright, first off, what you're going to do is fire off your multi-shots. Your multi-shots will fire off a lot of rockets, which will deal an increased amount of damage based on what we have for the legendary gem. What you want to also do is when you're running low on your hatred, you want to use your evasive fires to fire off shots to get an increased amount of hatred back that way. So what you're going to do is you're going to fire off Multi-Shot. Always attack from far away. Very important to attack from far away because we have a Zay's Stone of Vengeance in our, I believe it's our necklace or our ring that will power us up. Legendary gems that you want to run on here would be Zay's Stone of Vengeance, because the farther away you are, the more damage you deal. You also want to run a Simplicity Strength to power up Evasive Fire because it powers up basically very primary resource attacks and gets increased amount of damage. As for Vengeance on this particular build, what I would recommend for Vengeance is that you save it on the lower Greater Rifts for when you feel like you're being overwhelmed or you're taking a lot of damage or you run into a very tanky mob. Also for Legendary Gems, you want to run a Bane of the Stricken just in case you run into something that doesn't die in one hit. But the strategy is always going to be the same. Attack things from very far away with Multi-Shot. Then whenever you see that your resource generators are super low or getting low, you fire off evasive fires. Whenever you see tanky mobs or elite packs, use your Vengeance. Your Vengeance will be powered up thanks to the 6-piece bonus. It also will power up your evasive fire and your Multi-Shot when you're in Vengeance. So it's very vital to use that to your advantage. Now, in terms of optimization, what would you be looking for in terms of optimization for this armor? Well, my recommendations personally is on your helm, I would recommend 6.0 crit chance percent. So 6.0% crit hit chance. On your gloves, I would recommend having these 3 stats in particular. Crit hit chance 6.0%, attack speed at least 6.0, but preferably the higher up would be more efficient and do more damage, as well as crit hit damage 50%. Now, obviously, this is also using Captain Crimson in this set. So what we're going to do for this build is we want to put cooldown reduction wherever possible. So you want to get cooldown reduction at least 8.0% wherever possible. That way you will be able to attack things and deal massive amounts of damage effectively based on the Captain Crimson 2-piece and 3-piece bonus. Very, very important for your optimization to have these things incorporated into this build, or it will not be able to deal massive amounts of damage naturally, and you will be struggling on lower greater rifts. So definitely make sure you have those optimizations in place. Now, if after you get done fixing up your critical hit damage ratios and everything of the sort, and you've also done your cooldown reduction, I would recommend then next to actually get, I would recommend then from there to get 15% multi-shot increased damage wherever possible if you have good stats already on your armor that are optimized, as well as having 15% evasive fire wherever you can get it. But keep in mind, you don't want to sacrifice cooldown reduction or crit hit chance to power up these things, because these particular attacks are naturally powered up from the 6-piece bonus, so you definitely don't want to do that. Again, guys, same strategy as before. Fire off your multi-shots. Then whenever you feel like you're running out of resource generation, your hatred's pretty low, you want to use your evasive fire. Then use your vengeance when you feel like you're running into tanky things, or you're going to be overwhelmed, or you feel like you're going to take a lot of damage. That way you can just get things back and mitigate things. Now, you can see we're going very, very fast, but this particular dungeon layout wasn't the most optimized. For the Rift Guardian, it's very simple. On the lower greater rifts, you stand very far away and fire off a multi-shot, and you should be able to do a maximum amount of damage. Usually will one-shot everything on the lower greater rifts with general ease. So that's one thing to definitely look out for. Okay, now for the gems, like I said before, I'm running a Simplicity Stream, Zay's Stone of Vengeance, and a Bane of the Stricken. This gem that you see that I am augmenting right now is actually just kind of a throwaway gem. I'm leveling it up so I can augment it into an armor piece. It might not be this one, it might be this one. I really don't know at this point, so keep that in mind. Alright, let's see what that first Greater Rift clear time will look like. Alright, so that was a 3 minute and 54 second clear time, Greater Rift 60, which is Torment 13 difficulty. So that's pretty good. Actually, we didn't have the most optimal run. That would have probably been 2 minutes. This is a Greater Rift 65. Same strategy as before. You are going to fire off your multi-shot. Then, if you see that your hatred is low, you will use your evasive fire to build back up hatred. Then, whenever you feel like you are being overwhelmed or you're going to take a lot of damage, you can then use your vengeance to power up your multi-shot and also help with your hatred regeneration, because evasive fire gets quicker when you are in vengeance mode. So that's very important. But mostly with this armor, you're going to be basically zoning the mobs. For you who are not familiar with the terminology of zoning, it's a fighting game terminology where it means you fire off projectiles from far away, which keep your foes at a distance, and you kind of lock them away by just firing projectiles after projectile. With Unhallowed Essence, you're basically doing this strategy. All your damage comes from firing off your projectiles, which in this case are multi-shot, from far away. The farther away you are, the more damage you deal with, or you deal, because you are using Zay's Stone of Vengeance. And then keep in mind that this armor powers up multi-shot with the 6-piece bonus, as well as certain other things. The 4-piece bonus powers it up a little bit as well, so keep that in mind. Alright, now, for those of you who are wondering what the wolf is for, you use the wolf when you run into elite packs and you just want to deal more damage. For those of you who are wondering, well, why are we using Volt in this build? Volt comes in more handy as you get higher up in the greater rifts, because what ends up happening is you will have a tendency to be very aggressive with this particular armor, go hyper aggro, and what happens is explosions can occur, laser beams, you know, sometimes mobs will explode and cause frozen areas, the lasers. So Volt basically allows you to dodge much quicker than the natural dodge that's available in Diablo 3, and you're able to just get more effectively a lot of damage out. And not only that, but you're not going to, you know, get killed or squashed. So really, Volt is just there to get you out of a tight spot when you need to dodge really fast. And obviously, the regular dodge isn't that good. Alright, as you saw, we already teared through everything by just firing our projectiles from far. So, as you saw there, we fired off multi-shot. We were about 10 plus yards away, and we automatically imploded the Rift Guardian Greater Rift 65 with ease. So, again, I'm just leveling up a random gem here. This is pretty quick, pretty fast, pretty easy, as long as you follow the same strategy of firing off your multi-shots, using evasive fire to rebuild your hatred, and also use your vengeance timingly and accordingly, and just going super hyper aggressive and making sure you're always far away from enemies when you attack them. You should have no problems. Now, to make the most out of this armor and to be able to get effective clear times, let's look at the clear time here a quick second before I get to that next thought. But when it comes to clear times, what you're going to want to do... that's very interesting. Okay, I thought there was something weird going on there. Okay, let's look at the clear time here, guys. It's 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and this comes into factoring in a perfect optimization. Like I said, the stats that are as desired and everything of the sort. There'll be a link in the description for that. We're on Greater Rift 70 right now. Same strategy as before. Multi-shot, and then you fire off evasive fires, or not evasive fires to bring back your hatred, and then vengeance wherever possible. But in order to get the most out of this armor, to be able to do the most damage out of it, you're going to need to augment your armor. Now, my recommendation is make sure, first off, that you have all pieces of your gear at least Ancient Legendary or Primal Ancient Legendary. Primal Ancient Legendary obviously gives you the maximum and best stats, but they are the hardest type of loot to acquire in Diablo 3. So they don't come by very easy, they don't drop very easy, so preferably Ancient Legendaries for most of us is what we're going to rock. So what you're going to want to do is any legendary gem that you level up, you can level it up all the way, I believe, to 100 plus. At 100, they kind of cap out in terms of the effects. What you would want to do is for every piece of Ancient Legendary, have a legendary gem that's at least level 80 to level 100, and then augment them. When you augment them, you'll get an increased amount of attack. Obviously, for the Demon Hunter, you would want to augment for Dexterity, because that is what powers up its attack stat. So that's the Flawless Royal Emerald Gem. So obviously, hold on to your Flawless Royal Emerald Gems that you're not actually using in your armor pieces for that augmentation, because you're definitely going to need a lot of those. Subsequently, once you have full optimization in that retrospect, you should be able to tear through Greater Rifts with general ease. Now, on average, I would say, through playtesting and experimentations on various other accounts that I use, the Unhallowed Essence armor will be able to clear up to a Greater Rift 135 solo. Now, this is if you're following the strategies that you're seeing on screen. If you are also having perfect optimization, that being that you put cooldown reduction where you needed to fire up Captain Crimson, and you followed the crit hit chance, and you did the augmentation of the legendary items on all the pieces with legendary gems at least level 80 or 100, and you should be able to do just fine and get to Greater Rift 135. In a group of 4 that are well experienced and they know exactly what they are doing, you should be able to clear a Greater Rift 150 as well with this particular build. Now, some people prefer, for the Demon Hunter, to use the Gears of Dreadland set. The Gears of Dreadland set in particular saw a significant nerf in Season 23 of Diablo. Season 23 of Diablo nerfed Hungering Arrow. In particular, the amount of times it pierces based on the offhand weapon that was always used for the Gears of Dreadland's Hungering Arrow builds. So, because of that, Multishot, in my personal opinion, is actually a bit more viable and closer to an S-tier Demon Hunter build now, thanks to the nerfs that have been transpiring for Gears of Dreadland. For those of you who are still playing Season 23 of Diablo, and if you're just starting, it's probably not the best time to start because the season is going to be ending within the next 3 to 4 weeks. This is the Hadred's Gift for Season 23 of Diablo. That meaning that if you complete the Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and Chapter 4 seasonal journeys for Season 23 of Diablo, you will get, on each chapter completion, 2 pieces of the starter set armor for the Demon Hunter, which is Unhallowed Essence. However, you're always guaranteed that you're going to get the 6 pieces of the armor. That's always guaranteed. You're not guaranteed to get Ancient Legendary of that to drop. Subsequently, obviously, because when you're playing seasonal, unless you've completed a Greater Rift 70, you do not have a chance for your Hadred's Gift to have a Primal Ancient Legendary, because the key requirement for seasonal characters is that you complete a Greater Rift 70, which is like the Chapter 4, Chapter 5 actual objective. So naturally, most people are not going to be able to do that before they're opening their Hadred's Gift, and most people wouldn't open their Hadred's Gift after they do that because it would be kind of a waste. So you wouldn't want to do that. Okay, so this was, again, another super speedy clear time. This was a Greater Rift 70, like I said before. we're going to do also a greater rift 75 and a greater rift 80. So I took you basically through Torment 13, going all the way, and I'm saying all the way through Torment 16. So that way we are pleasing everybody. I'm even showing you how well this armor performs even past Torment 16, because after greater rift 75, anything 80 and above, it's kind of like if it was Torment 16 plus, even though there's not an actual Torment number after 16, but it gets higher. That was 3 minutes and 42 second clear time, very fast, and that was in a fully optimized Unhallowed Essence set. Okay, on greater rift 75, you're going to notice on Torment 16, mobs in particular have a lot more HP. They're able to deal a lot more damage to you. Your clear time is going to be affected by this if you're not fully optimized. So those 2 and 3 minute clear times that you saw on greater rift 70 and greater rift 60 and greater rift 65, that is going to start to dissipate in power creep. You're going to start seeing maybe 4 minute clear times if you're not optimized. If you're really slow or you get a very unfortunate dungeon layout, it's going to be the same situation where you're going to see less. Now, as you get higher up in Torment 16, more importantly, you're going to have to use your evasive fire to build back your hatred a lot more. You're also going to be using your vengeance a lot more, because it's going to take a lot more usually than one multi-shot firing off to be able to deal damage to all these mobs. Some of the more tanky and elite packs will take more damage. Obviously, as you saw there, the one with the shield, it took about 3 to 4 taps of multi-shot before I was able to clear things out. Now, something that's very important when it comes to multi-shot in particular, because people who are new to the Unhallowed armor set in particular make this mistake, is that you don't want to constantly hold in the multi-shot button. If you do, you're going to completely burn through your hatred, which is a big no-no, because then you will get squashed by anything and everything in Torment 16. What you are going to want to do is you are going to want to gently tap the multi-shot and let a whole bunch of it fire off. Remember, we're using Dead Man's Legacy, so Dead Man's Legacy says when you fire off a multi-shot, you're going to automatically fire off another round of multi-shot. So you're getting 2 for 1 tap. So if you fire up multiple of them, you're going to burn through that hatred really fast, which is something that you definitely don't want to do. So if you're new to Unhallowed Essence, remember your multi-shots have to be tapped in gently. You do not, repeat, you do not want to constantly hold in the multi-shot button. Now keep in mind also, since things are more tanky and they can do more damage to you, it's very vital that you also use your Volt and Tumble to dodge out of the way. Another good thing about Volt and Tumble is when you're in Vengeance form, if you Volt, you actually do a attack which will help build up resources that way as well. So that's kind of a nice little handy extra effect. Now, something else that you're probably going to want to keep an eye on is your hatred a lot, because there's a tendency that even sometimes when you're using your Vengeance in conjunction with multi-shot, that you're going to burn through your hatred, which means you have to be very, very, very observant of that bar, and then make sure that you're also using evasive fire. Good thing about evasive fire when you're in Vengeance mode is that you are able to fire off a lot more evasive fires, which subsequently will allow you to build up more resource generator. But as you get higher up in the greater rifts, it is very, very easy to burn through the hatred. So you have to be very careful and keep an eye on the gear. It's not as simple as it may look. Okay, same strategy as before since we're on the new part of this level. Just fire off multi-shot from far away. Keep in mind that the farther you are away, the better it is for you because of Zay's Stone of Vengeance. If you get monsters that come up close and personal to you, fire off the evasive fires, because remember, we are rocking the Simplicity Strength, which also helps tremendously with this particular build. Alright, we're going to fire off some multi-shots, fire off a couple more multi-shots, fire off some multi-shots here, fire off multi-shot there. Alright, doing pretty good here. See, we're not getting super aggressive. That way we avoided those explosions as well as the ice. Those area effect things, if you get too aggro, they will kill you. Demon Hunter is a very squishy class, very similar to the Necromancer, so you always want to, particularly with this armor, attack from far away. So again, fire off the multi-shots from far away. Keep, obviously, an eye out for any hazards and area effect damage that possibly happen. Okay, for this Rift Guardian, same strategy. You want to be attacking from very far away. Usually about 1 or 2, sometimes 3 multi-shots will do the damage and take it out. Keep in mind we're using Bane and Stricken here, so that's where Bane and Stricken comes into play tenfold. So it's very important. I think that's a Riang's recurve there if I might. No, Kinder Shot. Okay, that's kind of useless. Let's pick that up. All right, let's augment. We're not augmenting. Let's level up gem. Again, Gem of Ease, I'm not using it in this build. This is just to augment armor further down the line, so keep that in mind. No intentional rhyme there, but I did rhyme. We're going to take a look at this clear time in a minute to see exactly how we fared here. Okay, so let's get teleporting out. Alright, let's check this. Okay, Grey Rift 75, which is Torment 16 difficulty, 4 minutes and 4 second clear time. Full optimization, that'd be 2 to 3 minutes, guys, maybe even 1 minute. So keep that in mind. Optimization and augmenting armor pieces is very vital to getting higher up in that Greater Rift. Alright, Greater Rift 80. This way you can see how it does in Torment 16 plus, basically. Alright, same strategy as before. You're going to want to fire off multi-shots from far away. This will deal the maximum amount of damage. Keep in mind when you're standing still, Squirt's Necklace is also going to come into play. So that is extra damage that you're getting. You also got the focus and restraint that help you. But always attack from far away. Now also keep in mind, since it takes longer to take out things, as you saw the hatred is going down there, you are going to want to make sure that you also use your Vengeance as well as your Evasive Fire. Your Evasive Fire will build back your resource generator. If you have Vengeance up when you fire off your Evasive Fires, on average you'll be able to get back, if your bar is down, let's say to 50% or low, usually let's say 35%, and you fire off Evasive Fires when you're in Vengeance mode, you will get back about 75% of your health. If you're halfway on your health and you use your Vengeance in conjunction with Evasive Fire, you should be able to get back the majority of your hatred. So it's very important to use your Evasive Fires. It's very, very simple and very, very easy to get distracted and think you just need to rely on your multi-shots. But remember, Evasive Fire is what helps you get your fuel for your multi-shot. So you definitely want to be very careful with that. Okay, guys, same strategies before. Multi-shots, fire off some multi-shots. Enemies implode, fire off more multi-shots. Evasive Fire to get back resource generators, and you see everything implodes. Remember, zoning is very important for this armor. This armor doesn't like to do up-close and personal battles. Even though Evasive Fire can kind of handle certain things, as you get higher up in the Greater Rifts, it becomes more impossible. Now, where does this armor place in the tier list? My personal opinion, I feel like it's at least one notch below, if not equal to the Gears of Dreadland Hungering Arrow build, because it's able to push and do Greater Rifts. That's my personal opinion. If, however, you like the spin to win option, obviously Gears of Dreadland is the way to go. However, it has been nerfed significantly, so keep that in mind. We do have a Gears of Dreadland build available in the playlist. Just definitely make sure to check that out in the playlist. Again, same strategy. I am attacking things from far away. Fire off multi-shots from far away. Everything is generally going to implode. Fire off more multi-shots. Fire off an Evasive Fire. Let's go here. Fire off multi-shots from far away. I should probably volt a little further back, but we just wasted a whole bunch of resource strength. That's generally what I just did. You don't want to do sometimes, guys. Okay, so keep that in mind. Alright, so again, using Evasive Fire to get back hatred regeneration in conjunction with Vengeance. Then when we attack things from far away with multi-shot, everything will implode because of Zay's Stone of Vengeance. This is how you see visually how everything is working. Now, if you are someone that prefers to see things on paper, and that is perfectly fine, because I definitely understand some people work better seeing things on paper, I will link you in the description to a sample armor build from Icy Veins, a very good resource for Diablo 3, where it will show you the breakdown and the type of stats and the gear you need, and basically what you want to do in terms of skills and passes, in case some of this stuff may have gone over your head. Alright, Rift Guardian 80, what we're going to do is we're going to attack from far away. We're going to volt away so that we can get far away, fire off multi-shots usually. Again, because of Bane of the Stricken in particular and Zay's Stone of Vengeance. Usually you're going to take out a Rift Guardian on these high levels, and this was only an armor that only had 3 augmentations in its armor. With Ease full optimization, you're going to destroy this thing, trust me, guys. So as long as you follow basically what I laid out for you here in this video, you should do just fine with the Unhallowed Essence armor, which is actually a very good armor for the Demon Hunter if you like multi-shot. Now, as with all my builds, keep in mind that it is a build. Builds mean that this is a recommendation. That does means that you don't have to exactly follow this to the T. You might have a different type of build that you use with it. If so, that's cool. Definitely feel free to leave in the comments your own ideas and takes on the build. However, the golden rule here is that we do not link to outside links. That means no linking to Max GG roles, no linking to content creators' content, or perhaps even your own content. That is a big no-no on this channel, and people have been doing it recently on certain builds and stuff, and even older videos, and I have had to moderate the comments, which I generally don't like to do that. So yes, feel free to share your build, but do not share it from an external resource or post our content creators' work in the comments to my video. We are talking about my content, not other people's content. So I hope that is very clear to you guys, because it is a big no-no and it has been happening quite a bit. Alright guys, so let's see. We got another 4 chance bonus. As you can see, this armor is also very tanky, and since you're attacking from far away, it makes life quite easy, and you're able to get a lot of 4 chance bonuses. We're going to go back to town. I think we're going to identify some items first, and then we are going to, well, let's look at the clear time first, right? Alright, let's see. Greater of 80, tournament 16 difficulty, 3 minutes and 23-second clear time with only 3 augmentations on this armor. With full augmentation, you could even maybe get that down to a minute if you are playing effectively and if the dungeon layout is accordingly. So, you know, sometimes we get dungeon layouts that are not too good, or they're very long, or maybe get lost on a corridor. It happens to me all the time. It's happened actually in some videos sometimes too. So, that's okay though. But usually on average, that's what you're going to be seeing. That's how powerful this particular armor is. Okay, let's see here. Did we get anything? I think I saw a focus that I'm going to be using, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just trying to identify the rest of the armor pieces so that I can see what is going on here. Let's look. That's probably going to be a Ramadan's gift. No, it's not. Okay, is this going to be Ramadan's gift, or are they all potions? That's what I want. Oh, okay, there we go. Ramadan's gift. You use those, in case you don't know, to add a slot to weapons that don't have a slot. So just definitely make sure you save those. Alright. Oh, we got a restraint. That's legendary. Okay, I know what we're going to do here. We're going to save that restraint, because that restraint is probably better than the one I have. Alright, let's see if I can make some room here. Do I have room? Alright, you know what? Let's put that there. No, I can't throw out any of those things right now. I might get rid of those Ganondorf ones. I don't need them. In case you're wondering why my UI looks different, I'm playing the Nintendo Switch platform, but all information is the same. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, a like is greatly appreciated in this video, and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so. Till next time.